it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines we have a first discussion for a more digital future. Dakhil debates with the rhythms of poetry. For the international scene, urgent call for a temporary constitutional declaration to safeguard unity in Syria. Welcome to our newsroom. This morning, the National Agency for State Information, ANSI, organized within the prestigious Salam Tower a training workshop entitled Preparation and Notifications of Security Incident. Listen for more details.
This morning, the National Agency for State Information System organized within the prestigious Salam Tower a training workshop entitled Preparation and Notification of Security Incident. This initiative is part of an ongoing effort to strengthen the skills and knowledge of public sector professionals in cybersecurity, a crucial topic in the era of increasing digitalization, shared by the Secretary General of the Government, Ms. Almis Mohammed, and the Director General of ANC, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Ismail. The discussion were focused on key topics such as rigorous incident reporting protocols, advanced digital crisis management tools, and cyber risk assessment, but also the analysis methodologies. The participants had the opportunity to formalize themselves with international regulatory framework and modern approach to preserve the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of information. By organizing this workshop, INC reaffirmed its commitment to promote a secure digital environment within the framework of administration. It highlights the importance of rapid, coordinate, and appropriate response to potential threats to other national technological and infrastructure issues. Through this approach, the agency intends not only to improve the resilience of information system, but also to raise awareness among key stakeholders of urgency, but also share the cybersecurity culture.
For his part, the Secretary General of the Government, Almis Mohammed Abdullahi, has indicated that this workshop does demonstrate the government's desire to equip its institution with the necessary means to address contemporary challenges related to data protection and the security of digital operation. ANSI reaffirms its commitment to promoting a secure digital environment within the public administration. It highlights the importance of a rapid, coordinated, and appropriate response to potential threats to national technological infrastructure. Through this proactive approach, the agency intends not only to improve the resilience of information systems, but also to raise awareness among key stakeholders of the urgency of a shared cybersecurity culture. The Minister of Finance received this morning a Visa Group delegation represented by Sivat Yatoslav, Vice President of Visa for the Middle East and Africa, Central and Eastern Europe. This visit marks the beginning of a strategic dialogue aimed at exploring opportunities for collaboration in the field of digital financial services. During this first meeting, the Visa team presented technological solutions and its global expertise in electronic payment, digital security, and financial inclusion. The second day of the conference was opened by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Yunus Ali Geddi, a major event that confirms Djibouti's growing place in the field of energy transition.
The small country attracted an impressive number of researchers and experts from some 51 universities around the world to attend the International Conference on Energy and its Applications. It was a major event confirming Djibouti's growing role in the energy transitions and perfectly in line with the vision set out by President Ismail Omar Guelleh. The second day of the conference was opened by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Mr. Yunus Ms. Ali Gedi. The presentations highlighted concrete solutions to current and future challenges. Djibouti's strategic position and strong commitment make it a role model in Africa, ready to take advantage of new scientific advances to guarantee sustainable, environmentally friendly energy independence. This commitment is fully in line with the key developmental objectives set out by President Ismail Omar Guelleh to make Djibouti a key player in the global energy transition.
The energy sector stands with a pivotal crossroad. One of the main challenges facing the energy sector is the urgent needs to reduce carbon emission. Additionally, energy access remains a critical concern. Millions around the world still lack access to the electricity, particularly in our continent, Africa. Addressing these requires innovative approaches that blend public policy, private investment, and, of course, scientific community engagement. With that in mind, ICE 2025 means to foster this connection, offering a platform where leaders, academicians, researchers, professionals, and the stakeholders converge to explore, debate, and catalyze action towards sustainable energy. To conclude, my sincere thanks to the Minister of Higher Education and Research and the Minister of Energy for their commitment and the support in the organization of this conference. I wish you a very productive conference. Thank you.
The Minister of Energy, Younis Ali Gedi, said that the highlight in his speech, Djibouti's ambition to become a major player in the green energy transition. The presentation is highlighted concrete solutions to meet current and future challenges.
Je suis particulièrement heureux aujourd'hui de prendre part à cette conférence internationale.
I'm delighted to be taking part today in the International Conference on Energy and its application organized by the University of Djibouti. I would like to welcome the scientists and experts from 51 universities present at this conference. Energy is the main driver of the economy and a powerful vector for improving living conditions of the population. That's why the many applications of energy, which cover various areas, are a key issue for our country. Thanks to the visionary leadership of President Guelleh in the energy sector, his continued strong political will and his societal project focuses on sustainability as a model for inclusive economic growth. Our country has been committed to the green transition to clean energy since 2015. The availability and accessibility of reliable, abundant, sustainable, and affordable energy is imperative to the socio-economic development to which we legitimately aspire. Our national energy policy is therefore based on two essential pillars. The first pillar involves exploiting our vast potential for renewable energy, whether it comes from wind, solar, geothermal, or biomass sources and hydrogen as well. This choice was made because this energy undoubtedly offers many advantages for our country.
The Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, has said that Djibouti, with its strategic positions and strong commitment, is thus positioning itself as a model in Africa.
Nous ne pouvons qu'exprimer une grande satisfaction.
We can only express great satisfaction to open this conference with my colleague, the Minister of Energy. First of all, because it brings together 51 universities, which is an important thing for our country. These 51 universities and the people who have come to share their knowledge will discuss the major issues today regarding energy. The energy problem is especially important in Africa. As Africans, we are all concerned but also aware. We are aware of the many energy issues that affect not only production but also distribution, access to energy, and unfortunately, 600 million of the 1.4 billion Africans still do not have access to electricity. This problem is particularly serious in rural areas. It is with great pride that I heard my colleague mention that in Djibouti, we meet 70% of the electricity needs of the population. This is a number that should be highlighted because we are well above the average. The change in approach that Djibouti has made in such a short time is highly admirable. We can only be proud of that, but we know that the challenges are still huge. I just want to highlight that we deeply respect what the President Ismail Omar Guelleh has done by making energy a top priority in his political agenda. He understood that energy is at the heart of economic and social development.
Subsequently, the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and the Minister of Energy, Yunus Ali Geddi, made a remarkable visit to the stands exhibiting the latest innovations in green and renewable energy. This visit marked by a desire to strongly support the country's energy transition, allowing the two ministers to discover up close the technological advances and contribution of local and international companies. The minister took the time to discuss with the exhibitors, focusing particularly on the innovative solution presented to meet Djibouti's energy challenges, innovation that meet Djibouti's needs. On this second day of the International Conference on Energy and its Application, IKEA 2025, two major panels were held simultaneously in two separate rooms, offering participants cross sections of energy advances in East Africa. On one side, the Energy Center of Bahir University, Ethiopia, hosted a panel presented by three of its experts, highlighting the latest innovations and strategies developed by the optimizations of renewable energies. They particularly emphasized regional cooperation, essential for sustainable and integrated energy development. In the other room, the Djibouti Offices for the Development of Geothermal Energy, ODEC, presented its progress in developing Djibouti's geothermal potential. The presentation, led by Gudon Abdullahi Darar, detailed the ongoing project aimed at exploiting these invaluable natural resources, a strategic lever to ensure the country's energy independence. These simultaneous panels illustrated two complementary visions between advanced academic researches and concrete application on the ground. A delegation led by Ms. Rune Osman, Director of Divisions of Industry, Innovation and Minerals of the African Union Commission, is accompanied by international and national experts. Today paid an official visit to the offices of the Minister of Tourism and Commerce. Several executives and advisors to the minister took part in this ceremony of the national policy and quality document in Djibouti. The Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mohamed Warsama Diriye, took the floor to thank the African Union for this document on the national quality policy in Djibouti, and wished the new president of the African Union Commission will be able to meet the challenges of tomorrow. A closing workshop devoted to the project included in the Adil 1 program was held this morning at Campus Key Hotel under the high patronage of Qasim Harun Ali, Minister Delegate in charge of decentralization. The event marked not only the end of a cycle of major initiatives funded by this program, but also a decisive steps in the trajectory of local and institutional development of the country. The Adil program, supported by the European Union as a strategic partner, had as its primary ambition is to promote decentralization and strengthen the capacity of local authorities in order to foster balanced and sustainable development. Through its multiple interventions, it aims to meet the specific needs of the regions concerned by rehabilitating essential infrastructure, consolidating local governance mechanisms, and substantially improving the living conditions of the beneficiaries' population. The workshop, which brought together diverse panels of key actors, Adil project manager, representative of the European Union, as well as various experts and stakeholders, provided an ideal platform to draw up a comprehensive assessment of the achievement made. The presentation made during these sessions highlighted the significant progress made in several areas. For his part, the representative of the program said that The Adil 1 programs will remain an essential reference in this collective quest for inclusive and resilient territorial development. For his part, the minister said that this closing workshop was an opportunity to draw up clear guidelines for the next steps of the decentralization process in our country. This event thus marks a transition of a new phase of cooperation and partnership where joint effort will allow us to continue the progressive and harmonious transformations of our local administrative and economic structures. The city of Dakhel vibrated on the afternoon on Tuesday, February 25, 2025, to the rhythms of the verses and rhythms on the occasions of the final phase of the poetry competition.
The city of unity, Dakhel, vibrate on the afternoon of Tuesday, of February 27, 2025, to the rhythm of verses and rhythms on the occasion of final phase of the poetry competition organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture in collaboration with the Prefecture of Dakhel and the Regional Council. This event is part of the National Week of the Artistic and Mother Language aimed at promoting the linguistic and artistic heritage of the country. The closing ceremony held at the conference room of Regional Council of Dakhel took place in the presence of Dr. Hibo Momin Assowe and accompanied by a large delegation from her department. Upon her arrival, she was warmly welcomed by the local authorities, including Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble, the prefect of Dakhel region, and Mr. Mahat Hussein, president of the Regional Council. The competition held under the theme National Unity highlighted the beauty of richness of Somali and Afro mother language. During the phase, about 100 young talent took part in this poetic competition, offering skills and inspiring performance. In her speech, Dr. Hibo Momin Assowe, Minister of Youth and Culture, stressed the importance of young people to fully appropriate their mother language and explore all the horizons. She stressed that the mother language is an essential pillar of cultural identity and vector for transmitting values and history.
The Minister of Youth and Culture highlighted the essential role played by the mother tongue in the identity buildings and personal development of the younger generations. According to her, young people are invited to fully appropriate their mother tongue not only as a means of communication but also as a fundamental tool for transmitting values, heritage, and history. On February 25, 2025, the Djibouti Coast Guard and the Japanese Coast Guard jointly organized the 2025 editions of the pirate transfer simulation exercises, which is one of the pillars of cooperation between the two institutions. The exercise began with a briefing on the conduct of operations at the headquarters of the Coast Guard located at the stopover, which brought together the Japanese ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Harakeshi, Colonel Wa'ais Omar Bore, Commander of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, Vice Admiral Kanosu Hirokai, Deputy Commanders of Operations of the Japanese Coast Guard, and the JICA resident representative in Djibouti, Mr. Kaneda, as well as several officers from two institutions. The exercises itself began with the transfer of the pirates by the Japanese Coast Guard from the ship to the patrol boat of the Djiboutian Coast Guard in order to carry out a transfer ashore. The teams docked at the Djibouti Coast Guard dock located at where the pirates were transferred to a base under security and were then escorted to the Japanese self-defense base in Djibouti in order to board the alleged pirates on the plane. The main objective of these simulation exercises is to strengthen cooperation and collaboration between the teams of the two institutions in the fight against maritime piracy. At the end of the exercises, the Japanese ambassador to Djibouti spoke to praise the excellent relations between the Republic of Djibouti and Japan and expressed his appreciation for the exemplary professionalism displayed by the two institutions in the organizations and executions of this pirate transfer simulation exercise. Colonel Wa'ais Omar Bogore, who spoke at length about the links between the Djiboutian Coast Guard and the Japanese Coast Guard, which collaborate in many areas in the maritime security of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Gulf of Aden, but also in the file of training. The commander of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, Vice Admiral Kanosu Hiroka, Deputy Commander is
on the sea is very difficult but very important things, and it is not we need the mutual cooperation. So this is the very basically exercise but very important exercise, I think. So this time is a very important drill exercise for Japan and the Deputy Coast Guard. So I would like to appreciate the Deputy Coast Guard cooperation and help.
in Obok Diwan Zakat distributions of Zakat and a sponsorship of orphans as part of the efforts of the Diwan Zakat to strengthen social solidarity. The Obok region in the north of the country was the scene of the distribution of Zakat funds for the year 2024, as well as the third and fourth tranches of the orphan sponsorship programs for the year 2024. The event took place under the supervision of the Director General of Diwan Zakat, Mr. Suleiman Hussein Musa, in the presence of the prefect of the Obok region, Musa Adan Migane, as well as several local officials. In total, 102 people from the poorest and the elderly people with disability benefited from this distribution, in addition to 61 orphans who received assistance. For the international scene, the Syrian National Dialogue Conference accelerates the adoption of a temporary constitutional declaration for the transitions. Listen for more details.
The Syrian National Dialogue Conference is accelerating the adoption of a temporary constitutional declaration for the transition, accompanied by political reforms and measures for national unity. The Syrian National Dialogue Conference has highlighted the urgency of quickly adopting a temporary constitutional declaration in order to ensure a stable political transition and avoid any constitutional vacuum, according to the final news release on Tuesday present to the participants of this 2 days conference, which was held at the presidential palace in Damascus. The declaration stressed the need to accelerate establishment of a legal and institutional framework to support the function of the state during this transitional period.
And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.